Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd do something different today. I need a hit basically. I need a hit on the algorithm. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about male dating advice and how male dating advice tends to be horrendous. And I think this is why we're in half the problem that we are in society. And you're probably thinking, why are you dressed up as a rodeo girl? Mainly for attention, but it will become more apparent later on. Because I just wanted to respond to a few of the things that I see online about male dating advice. And I wanted to specifically talk about two different things. The first will be the gym approach, and should you approach women at the gym? And the second part, I think I'm going to talk about the vulnerability aspect of men approaching women. So if it's something you like, please stick around. Obviously, the main way people meet people these days is online through dating apps. And then possibly if people aren't meeting people going out, a lot of people think, oh, the gym is the next logical stage to meet someone. Because a man will think, I'm interested in fitness, want to meet a girl that is also interested in fitness. But first of all, I would say, if you're picking up women at the gym, you're literally just basing your decision on a woman's body and if she works out. You're not basing it on anything else personality-wise. You're literally just picking a woman for her physical attributes. You do not know anything else about this woman. All that you know is that she goes to the gym. Is that really the first thing that should be going through your mind of, I'm literally just picking this woman based on her body? I basically see a lot of dumbass opinions online about the gym approach. Women hate being approached at the gym. And you know, I'm gonna say that twice in case you're on your phone and you're not really watching this video. Women hate being approached at the gym. They do not like it. And people will put out content saying how to approach women at the gym because A, it's obviously going to trend. Because men think, oh yeah, I can pick someone up at the gym that's hot. What I want you to get into your head is that for a woman, the gym is possibly the most vulnerable place she can be. She's going to have no makeup on. If she's obviously doing it properly, she's probably going to be doing cardio. She's going to be red. She's going to be sweaty. And she's probably going to smell. So off the bat, a woman is automatically at her most vulnerable. She's not going to feel comfortable. And to approach a woman, the first thing you need is to make sure she's comfortable. And if you're approaching a woman at the gym, she's not going to feel comfortable. She's not going to feel sexy. I mean, some women feel sexy after a workout. I personally am not one of those people. I feel shy after a workout. I feel self-conscious. I'm obviously self-conscious because I smell and I don't look my best. I don't want to be approached by men in the gym because I don't feel good. I'm not at my best. I want to be approached by men where I've made an effort. I feel good about myself. I feel comfortable having a face-to-face conversation with them. And I'm not worried about how I look and how I smell. And this is the one reason I think men completely do not even think about with the gym approach, is that the woman does not feel comfortable. And you're not going to get the result you want because the woman does not feel comfortable. And also you have to think about it logistically from the female point of view. If a woman is secure, she's probably got a busy life. She's just like you. I mean, I don't know where this comes from online, that males and females are completely different creatures. We have some differences, but on the whole, we are the same. A lot of people, they lead busy lives, they go to the gym. She's probably got so much shit going on. She has that 1 hour to get her workout in before she's doing something else. She does not want to be disturbed. She wants to crack on, do her workout, and then go home. And this is the thing, not all women want to be approached. And I think you'll kind of work out if women want to be approached or not. And I think it is slightly sexist, but I think if women are in the tight fitting clothes, if they're wearing crop tops, etc., who knows, maybe they are more welcome, shall we say, to being approached. If a woman is going to the gym and she's just wearing black, she's wearing a baggy t-shirt, she's just got her hair pulled up and she's doing cardio on a treadmill, She does not want to be approached. She's signaling to you she does not want to be approached. She just wants to crack on with her workout. And sadly, I think that men see a lot of misinformation online, is that women just want to be approached all the time. And they obviously do want to be approached, but the majority of people want to be approached in the right circumstances, i.e. they want to be approached via DM where it's safe, via a dating app where it's safe, or when she's out and when she's with a group of friends. A lot of women do not feel safe when a woman is on her own walking down the street and literally just approached by men because they've watched a pickup artist video. So maybe that's why men think, oh, the gym, it's a public place, it's safe. That's why they can approach women. And yeah, it might work if you approach a woman that's confident in herself, that doesn't mind the fact that she's sweaty and doesn't look her best. But the majority of women do not want to be approached in the gym because they feel extremely vulnerable. And it's also, it is quite a vulnerable place. It's, if you're a woman and you're working out, men don't think about this, but you're obviously moving, and when you're a female, when you're exercising, things happen to your body and your body's moving. And it's just an uncomfortable place in general for a woman, because you can kind of feel if you're running, oh, men are looking at me. This is why I think in general women hate the gym approach. And this is why I sadly think it doesn't work for men. So that's why I personally wouldn't advise the gym approach. I don't think you're going to get the right result that you want. I think if you want to approach a woman, it's probably better to build up a rapport slowly and then go for the DM. Because at least with a DM, it's either a yes or no. And if it's a no, then you move on. You also have to think with the gym approach is that if you're asking a woman out of the gym, you're still going to see her repetitively each time you go for a workout. And then as a man, do you want that? Do you want that where you are making a woman feel uncomfortable? Then you have to think, oh, I have to change my workout schedule because she's going to be there, etc. So there's all these things to think about. And I just think when men or whoever's giving the dating advice tell men to approach at the gym, I generally think that they're not thinking it through. They're not thinking it through logistically, that the woman feels vulnerable at this moment. And she's going to feel like, oh my God, if I turn him down, then it's going to be awkward because I see him all the time at the gym. I generally think at the gym, if a woman likes you, she'll probably make a move on you and she will signal that she's interested, rather than a man just going in blind trying to approach random people at the gym. I just don't think it's going to work. So that's my take on that. And I also wanted to talk about vulnerability. And I think a lot of dating advice people don't really use anymore. I remember the old pickup artists that would say, dress up in a comical outfit to get women to like you. But honestly, that's not going to work. Women are going to see through that. Women are going to see through that a mile off. There is a world of difference between me being approached at a bar by an authentic Texas cowboy that is generally from Texas and says, hello, pretty little lady, how are you? Would you like a drink? I'm going to be like, oh my God, it's a cowboy. It's a cowboy from Texas. And I'm going to be more receptive to that, because that man is being authentic. He's being himself. He's being who he is, rather than Steve from Croydon on a stag do, dressed up as a cowboy because he's read that in the game. That is not going to work on me, because I'll just see that this man is on a stag do, and that's not going to make me fall for him. It's going to have an amazing personality otherwise, but it's completely different. The dressing up is not going to make a woman fall for you. It's going to be how you talk to her and how you make her feel. What I also hate about male dating advice is just this scattergun approach. This scattergun approach of approach 50 women in a night, see who's the most receptive, see who the most intoxicated female of the night, with her guard lowered, will go home with you and sleep with you. We're not teaching men how to approach the girl that maybe they have seminars with and they're on the same course and they like the same things. We're not telling men how to approach that woman. From what I see on the whole, we're not giving specific advice in those circumstances. It's literally just approach as many women as you want so you don't have approach anxiety, and then just take home the most broken woman that you can find just to have sex. It's not telling men to invest in women. It's not teaching men to treat women well. It's literally teaching men how to pick up broken women at a nightclub. It's like anything, what trends works. And even if there are decent male dating coaches out there, they're sadly lost on the algorithm. They're not given the public recognition. They're not picked up. It's because the most salacious ones get the PR, they get the publicity, they get the traction. And of course, if you have a lot of men that are used to going on dating apps and getting rejected, etc., and not being successful with women, then what are they going to do? They're going to be drawn to that. They're going to be drawn to the content that blames women. And that's what's so sad about male dating advice, is that it's not about seeing a woman as your equal and giving to the woman and having shared experiences with the woman. It's about breaking down women. It's about breaking down women, judging women on their appearance, trying to get the hottest woman possible to make the man more masculine and be deemed as an alpha male. It's not about actually liking a woman for her personality or her attributes. It's literally about getting the hottest woman possible. And also I wanted to talk about how, I don't know if I was going to make a whole video on this, but sometimes ugly men treat you worse than hot men. And it's because if a man is conventionally attractive, he is used to being with attractive women and he doesn't need to be a dick about it. On the whole, generally more attractive men are kinder. They're kinder. They don't need to resort to tactics such as negging. They don't need to act like this around women, because you could argue it's pretty privilege, but they have a life where they don't need to resort to these tactics. And if you as a man have had access to hot women, then you don't need to be constantly reaching for hotness in a woman, because you've already achieved it. And once you've already achieved that as a man, when you go forward looking for your future partner, you're not constantly striving for hotness, because you've already experienced it and you don't need to reach for it. You can pick someone based on if you're going to be more compatible, because you've already experienced hotness in women. And sadly, what you'll see with other male content creators is that because they haven't experienced hotness, they're constantly reaching for it in women. They constantly have to have the hottest woman to fulfill their ego, and they're constantly reaching for it. If you look at the majority of red pill creators, they're not conventionally attractive. Have you ever seen a really attractive man do a podcast bashing women? And the answer is no. It's the men that are less conventionally attractive, that have suffered the rejection, that go down the alpha male podcast route. It's because they've suffered the rejection. They haven't had the pretty privilege to sustain them, so they go down that route, blaming women, using the most extreme examples of women to get their point across, doing drunk street interviews of women where women are obviously not at their best. They've had a few drinks, they're just having fun on a night out, and they will do the street interviews. It's the men like that. They're just constantly reaching for hotness in a woman. They'll never be secure in themselves because they're just constantly reaching for the hot women. If you look at the women they're getting, they're literally just getting escorts, and they're literally getting women that want them to get more OnlyFans subscribers. See, the hat just doesn't work.